What's up, y'all? We got a special guest coming on the show today. Why don't you come on in?
Hey.
Yeah, woo!
Oh my god. Well,
Tell me your name.
hi, I'm Evan Johnson. I'm a good friend of Jamel's here. Went to college with him, and I do videography, and I have a YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's called Hi, I'm Evan Johnson. I also have an Instagram account called Hi, I'm Evan Johnson. So go check those out, please.
So we'll link his medias in the description below. So check Evan Johnson out, y'all.
Check it out, y'all.
All right. Well, time to get started with the show. But first, intro.
One of the greatest temptations I'm facing right now is getting lazy with my style and saying I ain't appreciating mics down. I serve too small a market, I need a larger target. You know, a broader audience who's spending dollars on this. And as of right now, this temptation for making some crazy statements, complaining, but I know how pride sounds. I'm everybody's favorite, maybe one of the greatest. The peak of every playlist. You'd be a lame to hate this, but the truth is it's foolish to say this. So please bear with my foolishness, cause I've concluded it's stupid to fake it. I Google my name
All right,
too much.
so
Think that my fame is
we
trust,
are
but still it
reviewing
ain't enough.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever. There will be spoilers. How did you guys like this long-awaited movie?
It was good. It was
Everybody's
good.
looking at me because I'm the only one that was like, we waited too long. they
Basically,
hyped
he's
this
the only one.
they hyped this
I know.
movie up.
I loved it. I really did.
I loved it too.
It was
I loved it too.
amazing.
A lot of people did.
And by the way, I happened to watch it on Chadwick Boseman's birthday. So that was also a little bit
Yeah.
like, I learned that and I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that makes it even better.
The best thing about this movie was the theater was giving out little coins. But
Wait,
yeah,
We got, like,
they were giving out little
Really?
coins that
You
say
have to go on, like open night.
Wakanda.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Wakanda on one side, Wakanda Forever on the other side.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It was a pen, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
But it said Black Panther on one side and then Black Panther Wakanda Forever on the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
One side said made in Wakanda, the other side said made in China. But
It did.
Wait, really?
yeah.
it did.
I don't know. I liked the first half of the movie, but towards the second half, there's just a lot of problems I have with it.
I thought the second half was a lot better than the first half, besides the whole emotional stuff.
So we did say that they probably start on a funeral, or that I can't remember if it was already out that they were starting. The funeral scene was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was probably the best cold open in the MCU by far. The second's probably Endgames with Hawkeye's family getting dusted, but this one by far I think probably hit even harder because of Chadwick Boseman's
Yeah.
passing. And I mean, you cannot talk about this movie and not talk about that since
Well,
it's
yeah.
so prevalent and it's dedicated to him. That's my phone. I should probably turn
No,
it off.
I mean even the intro with like when the Marvel logo comes up, it was just all him. That was really nice
It
too.
was silent. It was. I would
Yeah.
say it was super. Symbolic as regards to funeral scene. That way he was carried off into the heavens almost. So
Yeah, speaking of that, where are they taking
Take
us?
it up.
there's actually a city of where the dead Black Panthers are. I was doing some research on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
they actually take the bodies to like a city.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to get into that in the franchise, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume they were just like going to dispose of the body somewhere, like probably burn it.
Burn them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like incinerate it.
Almost
I don't
like
know.
the way the Ravagers do when they
Yeah.
send Yondu's body into space.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I really liked how they continue with the world building of Wakanda. Because I've always liked how much world building they have with Wakanda. It feels truly like a live city, live country. Actually, we only kind of see like the city,
Yeah.
and we get like glimpses of the other cultures with the council, and then the Jabari led by M'Baku. But I've always liked the world building there. It's definitely felt alive.
There was a distinct difference kind of when the ship was flying into Wakanda in this one than the last one, whereas Chadwick Boseman, they flew right in and they didn't have to like get clearance, but it almost was like they had to get clearance for them to open up the gate to come through, and I'm wondering if that's because of what happened in Endgame. Maybe they're just strengthening their defenses, or it's because they've been getting attacked by other countries.
Well, in Endgame,
Yeah.
it shows that they already had like a barrier, and that's just based
Yeah.
off the Wakandan lore. they always had like a force field on it. I like that was like a real cultural type of security thing with the water drums and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I thought that was cool, but they always had the protection around Wakanda.
Well, yeah, but I'm just.
I'm
talking
saying
about,
you're talking about the camouflage.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the whole ship going into it type thing.
Well, when you think about it, it could be the same thing.
It
different.
could. I mean, it very well
different.
could be that they just didn't get into that in the first movie.
I mean, because when you compare it to like Infinity War, they kind of had pretty much the same barrier where he told them Lord.
Kind of, because I mean, in the first one they reveal themselves to the world, so I kind of saw that as like more of gates rather than, because they still have the barrier and the invisibility, but they can open up the gates, and it was a waterway, so I assumed not only was that kind of like foreshadowing towards Namor and everything, but also it was kind of a way to show that they are kind of opening themselves up to the world.
Because I think, and I might be wrong, but you could kind of, the camouflage was not there when they came in through the waterway.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe they're doing more trade too, so they let more people come in as well.
The camouflage, you guys talking about the gate?
No, so like, well, yeah. Mm-hmm. So like in the first movie, it looked like trees everywhere. And then they came in and you could see the city. But now you could see the city, but they still had their gates up.
Yeah.
Are they trading? Because they had a UN meeting. And
that is true.
Yeah.
It seems like they're giving really almost more than they're receiving in some sense, because they're.
What if they gave them?
Well, they had the research centers that they were helping with.
Yeah.
But they're not. And obviously, other countries want more vibranium. Yeah. And obviously, they want them to build better weapons.
They're not giving vibranium out. That's what Queen Wanda said.
Yeah,
she might give maybe some scientific advances.
Yeah.
But vibranium out of the question.
And it sounds like they're trying to raid these research stations for the tools, because they're all vibranium, to build weapons, and then that's why we see the awesome fight sequence in.
Yeah, well, I think the gate is more of like, not to stick. This is like such a small part of the movie that we're sticking onto, but like,
that might be my fault.
No, it's okay. I think it's more just the fact that they are maybe allowing outsiders, but they're not going to let them fly in.
Yeah.
So that fight scene you were talking about.
Yes. So the research fight scene was awesome.
Yeah.
And the way they layered the fight scene with the happened where the current, she's talking at the UN. Then in the past there was the fight, and then they're now bringing in the soldiers. That was, and obviously it was France or whatever, because she was the main lady that was like, well, you're not helping, and then they brought the soldiers.
It's her soldiers.
Yeah, it's definitely seemed like, well, France and America, because then they were talking. Mm-hmm. So it was like they were in on it together when they were trying to get the vibranium tools.
Yeah.
But then still, the U.S., the CIA, they were the ones who invaded Namor's land and was trying to hunt down the vibranium. So that's where...
Soft invasion. I mean, they didn't know they were invading his territory.
You invading. He's not made himself well known. And he didn't want to make himself well known.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still invasion. If you're still coming for vibranium, you have a vibranium detector, and you're coming for it. They can kind of take the history of what they did with Wakanda, and they were coming to Wakanda stealing it. So, of course, they got the same motive.
Yeah, one thing I like about this movie is that it avoids the problem that a lot of Marvel sequels have of, like, how did we not know about these people beforehand?
Yeah.
This, Talokan, is it Talokan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally Atlantis.
Yeah.
So, like, it makes sense why we didn't know about them before. I mean, we got the small hint in Endgame when Okoye said that...
The underwater volcano.
We don't mess with the ocean, basically. But I like how that solves the issue for this sequel. Also,
vibranium was never really widely known until Black Panther, so there was really no one going searching for vibranium.
I mean, there was like
Claw.
Yeah, and
he was selling
Cap
it.
Shield was made out of it.
Yeah, I guess there was him. I forgot about him.
I mean, he sold it to Ultron.
They really messed up when they killed him off so early.
Thank you.
Yeah, he could have been an amazing villain for Black Panther.
He was so fun, and Andy Serkis for once was not in a mocap suit, and you could tell he was having fun.
Yeah.
And then they killed him.
Yeah.
See, I actually... Sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, I think they killed him to kind of sell the aspect of Killmonger. The first
well, they did.
Like,
and that was a good way for Killmonger to get into the country, get into Wakanda. He has the guy that's killing their people here is his dead
But he
body.
should at least survive. because he's like a long nemesis.
He would have been a
type
good
Black Panther.
He would have been good if, for our theory that Doom might have been trying to get vibranium for a suit. If Doom was buying vibranium from him to build his suit, that'd have been a cool.
But
thing.
Wakabi wanted him dead, and that kind of strengthened his trust in Killmonger.
Oh yeah,
That's
to help
why-
to help overthrow him. Yeah, you're right in that sense.
Which I was kind of sad he wasn't in this, and I'm glad they addressed that Daniel Kaluuya
That he was in
wasn't
jail.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they addressed it. A little sad he's not in it, but he's busy.
Yeah,
so
he got a
it
busy
makes sense.
schedule.
Wait,
He's with Jordan Peele.
The one, the guy from Get Out.
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
from Get
Oh,
Out.
okay.
They said he was in jail because he rose against the king.
Yeah.
I heard that he died, didn't he?
No,
No,
he's
he's
in
in
jail.
jail.
You didn't hear
No.
Queen Miranda, the dialogue she said? You can go see your husband
Yeah,
in jail.
Oh,
Mine's is
my
gone.
family's gone.
Yeah.
I thought he died in the first one.
No,
I don't
he
remember
surrendered.
Okoye threatened to kill him.
Yeah.
And I think that
She said
that's
it.
one of the problems with the market, because they expanding so wide that they putting out so much movies. It's been 4 years since we saw the last one. So some people going into this movie, they might have forgot some of the things that happened in the prior movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you.
The scene where Shuri actually goes to Talokan.
I mean, you skipping past a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
I'm just saying, you can go there.
No, I was just going in a different.
Okay.
Because I feel like we were talking about the beginning of the movie so
talked about
much.
the gate.
Yeah, we talked about the gate.
The gate.
I just wanted to go a little bit
How
deeper,
does
but
it work?
we could talk about them going to get
Riri
Riri Williams. That was, in my opinion, a little bit of a messed up. Because they could have just beamed her. They beamed up the coffin. They could have just beamed her up when she was walking. They didn't have to go to her dorm room because they knew he wanted her dead.
That's kidnapping.
That is okay. Yeah, that is kidnapping.
They kidnapped her
And-
anyway.
No, she came
they
with
talked
it.
Sorry,
to her first.
decided
she
to come
got
with
kidnapped anyway because Shuri had to protect her, and then they kidnapped her.
They
Well,
got,
technically-
they got semi-consent from her.
it. Yeah, semi-consent. Shuri was the one who said, hey.
But I understand why they didn't do it. But
It's also very anticlimactic, as opposed to going in undercover. I mean, Letitia Wright wasn't in a Wakandan accent for one line, so
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she said, Riri Williams.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was probably maybe the weakest part of the movie, but I still thought it was fun.
I did like that the spears were collapsible. Were they
Yeah.
collapsible in the first movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just did not
Because
notice it.
she took it into
The casino
Claw's
scene?
party. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I just did not notice it. I guess, but the collapsible spears are amazing.
Oh, dude, it's freaking awesome.
The new daggers that she made for the other girl that becomes one of the night owls or whatever.
Yeah.
The daggers are awesome too.
Mhm.
Because then she was able to pull them back to her suit and
I
everything.
mean, Wakandans have always had the best tech.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's Stark and all that.
Oh,
but
I bet their tech. I think is,
Wakandans, their tech is chef's kiss.
They're above, I would say, the Talokan, but the Talokan are physically stronger
Yes.
Oh,
and
they're-
more durable.
because they
and-
took
Yeah.
in the plant. To
but
give
I
them strength.
and all their people kind of had the.
Yeah, they all took it.
Yeah, it seems like that plant is like a diet, part of their daily diet, and that's why their people are so strong.
Well, I thought there was only one, and then it just descended through the.
Oh, is that what kind of? I thought that.
I thought they still
I
grow
thought that
somewhere.
plant. Yeah, I thought the plants that they were harvesting were the plant that they ate in the beginning, and they were just harvesting it down. I mean, I obviously could.
I thought there was just
That's
one.
what I thought so too.
Because it was very a folklore story or a mythology story in one magical plant that
Yeah.
saved a people, and then they settled down into Talokan, and then I just kind of saw it as it just descended through the bloodline.
It could, and that could be. what
Yeah,
it
they
is.
didn't go into full detail.
They didn't go.
I don't think
It
they
does
need
leave
to.
us, yeah.
No, they did. They didn't
It's
need to.
unneeded.
But
We just
Some-
gotta know. We
yeah.
just know that they're stronger than the Wakandans.
Yeah,
But the Wakandans
exactly.
have better technology.
yes,
Yeah.
because I also kind of liked how they were playing the Mayan was it Mayan basketball where the
Yeah.
ball goes through the ring and they were playing that
Old school
underwater.
soccer?
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
Also, you two, y'all had thought that Atuma was the main villain of the
Yes.
movie.
We
Atuma was
thought
an ally.
Atuma was the main villain and Namor was going to help, like in Black Adam. We thought Namor was going to team up with.
I did think that.
Yeah.
But that's
I
a
thought he
believable
was-
story
yeah.
because Atuma
Yeah.
does do his
He
own
looked
thing.
like the main villain. I mean,
And if y'all watch like the Avengers Assemble show on Disney,
Disney.
yeah, Atuma has his own type of story arc in the
Yeah.
show. So I
Yeah.
kind of assumed that Well, I wouldn't say I assumed it, but I kind of was like,
You
oh,
could
maybe
see
they're
where we
right.
got the idea that they were.
In the comics too, he helps
Yeah.
Doctor Doom a lot.
Yeah, he did a lot more stuff than he did in the movie.
When it seemed like the girl was even higher than Atuma was, kind of in the ranking.
Well, when you think about it, her name is closer. Namor.
Yeah.
I think aren't they married?
No, they cousins.
Oh, they're cousins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were in a relationship, and that's why it was like kind of like taking a person's name. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Taking the last name, but
I
different.
know a little bit about Namor in the comics, which it's kind of funny. There's the whole debate on whether it's Namor or Namor, which I saw a video where if you say Roman backwards, which is literally where Namor comes from, it's Namor.
Yeah.
Which I love. Namor in this film. I love how it's not just pasty white guy with elf ears. I love
It's another Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes it completely different. in my
His
opinion.
him having that Hispanic background,
Yeah.
and especially when his mom died and they came up to bury her, like her people were buried, and then the plantation was there, and like he didn't know what the hell was going on. That was a great scene.
But that also asks the question too. When she died, he was still a kid. So how does he age? Like
he aged very slow,
very slow,
super slow.
I think he'll outlast the people that are there now, and as generations come up.
I mean, he's at least 500 years old.
At least, yeah. I mean, he's like that in the comics too.
Yeah.
And he actually is a semi-villain. He's like an anti-hero. In
like
comics.
Venom in there.
Because he does like fight Avengers, but he also fights alongside them. Like I read a couple comics where he fights alongside Captain America in World War II. But I like how he starts as a villain, and you can kind of see that he could be a villain still. He could align himself.
If his people are threatened, he's going to war.
Yeah.
But if you leave him alone...
Which in a way is kind of like, not to keep going with the Aquaman comparison, but Aquaman in, I think, it's like Justice League Unlimited. I think there's a scene where the UN does something in the ocean, and then he like brings up the submarine, and he's all like, don't mess with the ocean, or else I will come for you. Because he's a badass in that one. Because he like cuts off his own hand to kill his brother.
Yeah.
If I remember right. Yeah. But no, I really like Namor as a villain. His introduction when they raid the boat.
Oh, yeah.
I loved how it was shot and scored like a horror movie.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was.
That?
Thank you for giving me some credit. It almost felt like a different movie when they did that.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, it was great. I think that was
great
one of the best
introduction.
scenes. That was one of the best scenes of the movie.
And I love the sirens call they did, and they started jumping off the boat.
It
That
was different.
unsettling.
It was
That was
different.
unsettling.
Like that was real creative, So.
And then you just see his silhouette when he takes down the
helicopter.
Helicopter, yeah. Also, the winged ankles are not silly. I'm so happy.
Some people thought it was.
I don't think they're silly.
I think they're silly. I don't know.
I don't think so. The way he moved with them, it was cool.
He moved better. He moved better than I thought he was going to move with them, because he was almost like levitating, where I thought his flight was going to be a little bit.
Well, when he gets higher, it's almost like he's stepping in the air and then flies at that level. I think that's cool.
He moved way better than I thought he was going to move, but I still think they're a little silly.
I just don't understand the whole little rattlesnake sound when it's like flapping.
Well, it's supposed to be the wings flapping.
I think it's supposed to be the flapping so fast.
Yeah,
and then
it's
also,
like a hummingbird.
Too, they call him the Serpent God. So
Kukulkan.
Yeah, Kukulkan.
Which is an actual Mayan god. And I thought that was a really cool connection with that, because I kind of like the angle they take the different mythologies. I've not seen Thor: Love and Thunder, though, I will fully admit. So I don't know how they handle the Greek gods in that one. But I liked how they handled the Nord gods, and I like how they handle Mayans in this. Yeah.
We also see the new director of the FBI, CIA, and the Thunderbolts, almost like Amanda Waller in DC.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Is she the one that's after the vibranium?
Yes.
Vibranium?
Yeah.
She wants to make bombs.
I mean, she works for the CIA, and then remember Rossi said some of my guys died from that event. So she sent them.
Yeah. She's definitely
creating the Thunderbolts.
Yes.
To get the vibranium.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's to
I
get the
don't know if
vibranium. I mean, that might be a side mission of what she wants, but
I think she wants the vibranium. Maybe that she could also want the vibranium to make suits for them. But she definitely wants the vibranium to make weapons. but the Thunderbolt's mission might not directly be to get vibranium.
I think that's my theory. She's creating a Thunderbolts team to get vibranium.
It might not be for the vibranium, but she is definitely going to be the Amanda Waller of the MCU.
Yes.
Especially because William Hurt died, so we can't have Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. They
Thunderbolts.
recast him.
Harrison.
Why?
He's supposed
You
to be.
didn't know that?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't agree with that though, and it's not official yet.
It's
well.
official.
Oh, it's
no,
official.
it's
No, it's
official.
official.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's
official.
it became official.
Oh,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford is
Okay.
in.
The thing I can't wait for then is when we have interviews with Harrison Ford,
Mhm.
and people ask him MCU questions,
And he
just
doesn't
goes,
know.
"I don't care."
Yeah.
I love his interviews for Star Wars. They're so funny because he just does
He
not
does not care about Star Wars
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
He was happy to be killed off of that one.
Yeah.
He's like, finally.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because you can kind of compare it to the whole situation with how they dealt with Chadwick Boseman's death, and the whole aspect of continuity and how they're going to use Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. Like, I was one of them to just, go into Red Hulk, and I would have accepted that and not seen him,
Yeah.
but.
If they showed him transition once, they deep faked him in transition once, and then he was like Hulk, where he's just always Red Hulk. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, I could see that. That might be interesting.
But,
What do you guys think will be the next Black Panther?
well, sure, he's the next Black Panther.
Well, she kind of gave up.
No, she
No,
gave up
no,
the throne, but
she
she didn't
gave
give
up the
up.
throne,
She
yeah.
didn't give
She
up
didn't
the
give up
right
the
of Black
Panther.
Panther.
Oh.
She still has that suit with her.
Yeah.
And it's a nanotech suit, so
And
she could be
She
wearing
got the
bracelet.
heart-shaped herb
Yeah.
in her.
Yeah,
And I think that it was a good way to show that we did lose Chadwick and we did lose T'Challa both, so the audience can kind of wrap the emotional aspect around that. But I'm more accepting. I accepted Shuri as Black Panther.
Yeah.
what
I think
mean?
everybody knew that was going to happen.
And I like the story arc. Some people, they was thinking, why not make M'Baku Black Panther? Why not make Nakia Black Panther? But I feel that since it already has source material of her being Black Panther, go ahead and go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually,
Didn't you want M'Baku as Black
No,
Panther?
No, I
that
did
was
not
me.
say that.
That was,
That was you?
M'Baku, that was me,
No.
yeah.
Oh.
I love M'Baku's
I love
character.
M'Baku as well.
And
He's
I
great.
wanted him to be the king at the start of this. I mean,
He
I
is
see.
now.
Yeah, now he is, because
Yeah.
no one was challenging him. But
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be the Black Panther.
I
really did.
actually really liked him in this movie. I loved him in previous ones, but I like his development.
Yeah.
They show he's not just a big brutish vegetarian. He's,
Yeah,
he's
he
a little
actually-
wise. He's a big brother figure now since T'Challa's gone.
He was a son figure to Ramonda.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a conversation. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
But
good.
there was a conversation at some point where he was going to make sure Shuri help her deal with his death too.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously he had become somebody that Chadwick saw as what is it? I can't remember the word, but he saw him as an equal. Instead
Oh,
of,
so you
instead of
think-
that dummy that lives in the mountains,
Yeah.
he's my equal, and that's how they started that.
Well, Infinity War, when he came and helped the rest of the Wakandan army, they had a little segment where they called each other brother. He called them brother. So
Oh, I don't remember that.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like it was a long time
Yeah.
I
ago.
think it was
since
like a
that.
blink and you'll miss it moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't remember that either, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was a big movie, and then like I said,
Yeah.
4 years ago. So that's a
Yeah,
lot to
that's a long
continuity to keep up
And
with.
like a bunch of movies since then.
That's what I'm saying. And then
Yeah.
the universe, and this is a good thing we got Disney Plus, because if it was
Mhm.
all movies, people be forgetting everything when they put stuff out. But yeah,
Well, that's when you buy the Blu-rays. Gotta get the money for the mouse. Yeah, but I will say, Shuri, on the subject of Shuri, in previous movies, I think she was hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like
In the first one,
the first one, the "what are those" bit, I will
Yeah.
never get over. I'm sorry. I liked her a lot in Infinity War. Then she was in the background of Endgame. But in this, she really stepped up.
yeah.
It was. I don't want to say 180 because I don't want to doubt her ability in making the character more serious. But I just liked the seriousness she brought to the character. And to be fair, if she didn't bring that, that would almost be disrespectful in a way.
Oh, yeah.
well, I'm gonna agree with
But-
you. I would say it was a 180 because I watched the first one recently, and in the first one, she was more of a supporting character. She was supporting her brother. She was making tech for him. She was driving cars from him.
Yeah, she was like the cue to his James Bond.
So this was like autumn, and if you look at the first movie, as far as the cast goes, Shuri's character was kind of below Okoye and Nakia.
Yeah, true.
So in this one, she had to, step up, and like I said, I think they did it well because there's a direct source material to it. So, it puts her in a position where, she wasn't used to. She never thought that she would have to be Black Panther or anything. So,
and what I thought was really interesting, and what I appreciate about the Black Panther movies, is that they do take on bigger concepts and bigger, more philosophical concepts. Because she has a conflict of science compared to spirituality in this movie, and it's not like touched on throughout the whole thing, but I do think it is a through line, and we do kind of see that with. Thank God you said spoilers, because when Killmonger comes back, whoa! First of all, I'm not expecting that, and I love that scene, and I kind of like how he influenced her.
Yeah.
And she kind of does delve into the spiritual side, but it might not be the best path for her, even though it is obviously real.
Well, yes, but it also obviously showed where her character was at mentally.
Yeah.
After now losing her mom, where she wanted to basically do what he was going to do and wipe Namor and his people out.
Yeah, because if she was in a different mindset, I think she would have saw her mom.
But I think that's the setup for the future and the story arc of her character.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna get more comfortable with her heritage and her culture and the aspects of being Black Panther, because that all comes with being Black Panther.
Yeah.
So I think that they some people might not like with what they did with Shuri in this one, but I'm okay.
I loved it.
I loved it. They set it up for the future.
Yeah. And definitely, if she's doesn't go back to Wakanda, she still will be seen in like a Young Avengers type way. I think she'll be called upon.
Yeah, and I think they're going to do Black Panther 3. I think they should.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Because Black Panther kind of has this, I don't want to say political thriller, but it's almost kind of like the Game of Thrones of the MCU in a way, because they do deal with palace politics. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of always liked that. And once I had that kind of reframed, the first one for me. Because the first one wasn't always my favorite. I really liked it, but it was not my favorite MCU movie. But then once I kind of got it reframed, that it was almost like the Game of Thrones of the MCU, I was like, that's a really good way of looking at it. And I've always liked, again, the philosophy debates within it. And we kind of get that again with Namor and Shuri, their whole interaction towards the middle of the movie, I thought was very good. And it was fun to see Talokan to kind of get a glimpse at another secret society.
Yeah.